We're back. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. As we get into these next matchups between H the Man, H-Man, I did it again. H-Man the Man versus Cecilia. As we're talking about how Week 3 is being delayed into Week 4 because of all of the updates and the fact that the Lightseekers app needed to go through a resource, kind of, well, an update in general of itself, to be able to allow people to play. Now, H-Man the Man has done some amazing editing on his videos. I want to make sure that these all get lined up properly. Guys, we can turn this back on because we have both of them. Now, this is the first recorded games of Week 3. Week 2 standings. Is there a Week 2 standings? Or not week yeah, what where's the Week 2 standings? Let me show that quick. Let me just do this real quick. Hide this. Here are the Week 2 standings. Week 2 standings shows that Lurker 300 and Egg Rolls. So we have a 4-way tie for first. Great to see what people are playing. A lot of Dread. A mix and match between Mountain and Astral. Some tech obviously being played. I love to see the variety of things. It's not all Dread. It's not all Astral. There are some great decks being played by some great people here as well. Then we have a lot of people who are 1-1 after Week 2. Oh, no, this is just the standings of Week 2. Is there an overall standings like after Week 2? Because this just looks like who won in the past week. Oh, they're all right here. Never mind. There's the win-loss, and there's the... Is that the match? I'm trying to just... Mud Turtle, if you're here. Only 2 week? Okay. So these are the ones... Yes, these are the stats that we're looking at with the match win, match percentage. So these are the accumulated ones. First is win-loss for the week. These are the accumulative ones. The first win-loss is the whole matchup win-loss. Okay. The matchups is all the matchups they've played. Okay, so this is the accumulative, like this is the current week, this is the accumulative season record. From what I'm understanding. Is that correct? Oh, okay. So he's won. So FaZe Arbor won last week, 1 lost. Total. Okay. Now I'm wrapping my head around it. Okay. I'm sitting there like 2-0. I'm like, did he not just go 2-0? But you're counting the entire week as like 1 win per week, 1 loss per week. That kind of thing. Now I'm okay. Now I'm starting to wrap my head around it. So there is a 4-week tie, or a 4-way tie between 4 people who are undefeated in their first 2 weeks. Then we have a lot of people who went 1-1 and 0-2. And in their matchups, accumulatively, Lurker and Egg Rolls both have gone 2-0 both weeks in a row. Great records for them. Great to see a lot of strong people coming out of the wing. It's anybody's race, though. Still got 14 more weeks, man. 14 more weeks. Let's get in there. Let's do this. Put this right back over here. Turn this back on. Maybe. If I click it. Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Well, yeah, now I know how to read it. All right. Got myself a granola bar. Eight weeks. My apologies. It would have been great if it's 16 weeks. Oh, then a 3-week playoff. Okay, that's where I'm getting such a large week number. That makes sense. That makes sense. Is there 16 teams? Is that where I'm coming up with the 16? I might be. You wanted 16 teams. 143 weeks. Man, that's great to see. Well, anyway, guys. Anyway. Are we ready? Are we ready for Cecilia versus H-Man the Man? Going to this, Cecilia playing Jolty, H-Man the Man playing Sunfist. Both of them pass drawing, trying to accumulate resources right now. Cecilia is playing Crystal in her Jolty deck, but she's playing the Encrusted Shield. Great to see. As H-Man the Man comes down with a Celestian Warrior of his own. Might be a little bit of a delay. Let me pause this. There we go. Now I think I got it right. H-Man the Man picking up Mage Ship. Tantosian Blacksmith being played by Cecilia. Putting the Crystal Shield. You forgot to record the second game? No worries, man. No worries. I'll just pause it and we'll do whatever. Kind of lost my place here. Observatory coming down for H-Man. He has a lot of things in hand to be able to utilize that Observatory. He could also be using it to bait out a Thunder Slug from Cecilia, which is exactly what happens. 2 damage coming down as Sunfist has a buff removed through Thunder Slug. Crystal Shield is in play. The Colossi Gateway is going to be a nice way to get a lot of her elemental cards back. Astral Priest comes in swinging for 6 damage. Picking up a Flaremane Prowler off of a pass draw. Thunder Slug is going to remove that Celestian Warrior, dealing another 2 damage to Cecilia. Living Cloud comes into play. 6 damage as there is no buffs on board. Heroic Starfish, 3 damage, 3 healing. Getting us back to that even 1920 health. Mage Ship being played down by H-Man and an Astronomer. Has really good card draw and 7 damage from that Mage Ship. Thunder Slug being rotated out. Cecilia really only having 2 attack cards in hand, a lot of defensive and utility cards. Nothing she really wants to do. Decides to pass draw, picks up 2 combos, very powerful in unison together. H-Man the Man also decides to pass draw as his board is doing all the work for him, needs to accumulate resources in hand. Cecilia, we could see a Storm Strike come out right now as exactly what we were seeing. Using the Dust Fiend to pay for it, along with Chain Lightning. We are going to see another combo being placed into her hand. All 3 combos unable to be played for right now, but with all the buffs we are seeing from Astral, the Cold Snap is probably a really good call on her part. Deciding to pick that up. We could see a Colossi Gateway being drawn next turn. She does have some elemental cards in her discard pile right now to be able to move back with the Gateway. 7 damage being swung from that Mage Ship. Another Celestian Warrior comes into play from H-Man. Realizing that his board just keeps up constant damage is great to see. We have a Dawnstalker being picked up. Now Cecilia does need to find her own defensive pressures as well. The Gateway comes down, and Heroic Starfish healing for 3, dealing 3. Really just keeping the pressure on as much as possible. H-Man going to draw 4 cards off that Astronomer, deal 3 damage to Cecilia. Putting her at 12. We have an assortment of cards. That Planetary Alignment, I believe, is lethal. H-Man was looking through her discard pile to see what's going on. Decides to play the Celestian Warrior. Just really keep the damage on board. Chimchu Farseer being thought about being played right now. It is going to come down making sure that Cassilia cannot do anything defensive-wise, which means that Colossi Gateway is not going to be able to be used to get those attack cards back to finish off the game. Cassilia is in a tough spot right now. That is absolutely correct. Jolty has a combo under her, so it's essentially like a Crystal Core. So that Planetary Alignment would not have been lethal. So H-Man, very smart play on his part. I completely forgot about that. H-Man the man has 4 damage coming in next turn to Cassilia. That Crystalline Shield is preventing any combo damage from being dealt to her because she is now below 10. Decides to put a Flare Mane Prowler out. And pass draw. A lot of resources in his hand, but that shield is preventing the combo damage from Astral in a big way. Thunder Slug is going to be played, removing that Chimchu Farseer, dealing 2 damage. Going to be able to use Colossi Gateway right now. However, Cassilia is going to be put down 2-3 next turn with the Militant swing for 4. Both of them at 3. Jolty still essentially having a Crystal Core intact right now to prevent anything from devastating it at 3. Pathfinder comes in, removing that Thunder Slug, allowing the board presence to stay from Kiwi Sunfist. H-Man, still wondering what he's going to do, decides to pass draw on his last action, realizing that his board state right now is set up to put the lethal away as it is, kill the Thunder Slug with his Pathfinder. However, Jolty swings in with a Spark Wisp, dealing the damage itself. There was nothing defensive that H-Man could have done. That game goes to Cassilia. As we now go in to game 2, it is Cassilia with Ribrocks against Sunfist Kiwi. Astronomer comes down really early in the game. Great place for that to come in. Two Crystal Scepters and two Mimicking Magmites. We have a cat back. H-Man the man decides he just needs to pass draw. Doesn't need to worry about it. If the Astronomer goes away, still needs to accumulate the resources in a way. We are seeing a lot of buffs from the Astro deck, so he probably wants to make sure that he has back-to-back turns, even if that Astronomer does go away. With Chef Ribrocks being able to remove 2 buffs a turn with the Hammerdown Enforcer. Hi, sweetie. You gonna lay down, or are you just gonna be a vet? She likes to eat wrappers. We have a Blast Field Battery coming in for Cassilia, looking for or putting back 2 Epic Masteries to then draw 5 cards. No, 4. Oh, it was 5 cards. Was it? Either way, picks up 2 combos, an Epic Mastery, and a Tantosian Blacksmith. Tantosian probably going to be able to put in that Crystalline Scepter. H-Man the man finally drawing... Oh, is it 4? Okay, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, because he only put 2 back. Only put 2 back. Yes, the cat distraction is for real right now. We have another Astronomer coming down, really keeping that card draw engine going. Sunplane Charger is going to be equipped. Come here. Come here. You're gonna sit in my lap. If you're just gonna keep wandering back and forth and wanting pets, you're gonna be sitting here getting pets. Okay? You're just gonna be sitting here getting pets. You don't want to sit down? Now you don't want to? Cassilia decides to lay the Turbo Sphere, getting 2 actions this turn, drawing 3 cards off that combo. H-Man the man, having the Astronomer rotate out, having 2 buffs on board, a very large hand size. We'll see what happens. We could see a Pathfinder come down to remove that Turbo Sphere, preventing Cassilia getting 4 actions in a turn. The Ancestral Guide comes down, drawing a card for H-Man the Man. We are just going to pass draw, still accumulating resources. This Kiwi Sunfist is not being as aggressive as it was last game. It might still be looking for certain things. H-Man, the man, is going to have 2 buffs being removed by the first Hammer Down Enforcer. No, yeah, the first one that Casilia has drawn. The Astronomer stays, though. Removing the Ancestral Guide. We have a Colossi Cannon coming down. Colossi Cannon with a Mimicking Magmite could make for some very interesting turns. Now, as we see, H the Man is sitting on a very hefty hand size with an Astronomer out, being able to draw more cards next turn. Chimchu Farseer preventing any defense that Casilia could possibly be playing, which cuts out the Epic Master, it cuts out the Fountain of Time. A lot of tools in her arsenal for Ribrox to use is going to be very difficult to pull off now. She's decided to pass draw 4 cards from that Turbosphere, being a massive... Stop rubbing your face on my microphone cord. I don't want you to unplug it, honey. Astronomer spinning in now to draw 4 cards. Both people, very large hand sizes, but both of them playing very defensively, trying to figure out how to bait out certain cards so that their decks can run properly. Okay, you need to stop chewing on my cord. I'm sorry, you do. You really do. H-Man the Man, with 2 Astronomers gone off, finally decides to put down another Flare-Mane Prowler. Probably time to start going on the offensive. Casilia is sitting at 16. Decides to pass draw, once again accumulating resources, waiting probably for a very strong combo to come out. Hammer Down Enforcer, removing the Chimchu, and only the Chimchu. Not going to risk taking another 2 damage for the Enforcer's ability, as she has already taken quite a lot from the cannon itself. H-Man the Man could have Planetary Alignment in hand and finish this game off right now. There are a lot of things that Astral has that could just win the game right out. And it looks like he has it. There's the Planetary Alignment. The game went on. Not a lot of things were lining up. People were trying to set up really impressive and fun turns. Whoop. Okay, now we have both hands back. So before we go into the next one, both players trying to set up some very, very strong and very powerful swing turns. Come here, if you want to. Okay, we're going to do something so you're not blowing my face out, okay? I'm just going to go on the ground. Casilia trying to set up a really nice OTK turn like her Wrathstar deck did in the past. Getting those Mimicking Magmites for what she said is 44 damage, which is insane to think about. Kiwi Sunfist just playing the very strategical, very just draw a lot of cards, slowly do my resources thing until Astral does its Astral thing and blows them out. As we lead on to Game 3. Want to make sure I get them lined up. Okay, I think I did. I think they're pretty well lined up. We are going to see Casilia draw cards. Corvus Conspiracy coming down for H-Man the Man. H-Man the Man deciding to play a Deep Root. Is that Deep Root or is that Sage Leaf? Either way, a very aggressive style nature deck. Casilia sticking with her Ribrox. Drawing a lot of offense from what we're seeing. A lot of offense and defensive cards. Playing a really nice strategic game. H-Man the Man putting out all the aggression right away. Tyrax Mercenary coming out from Casilia. Hitting for 5, decides to pass draw. Not really needed to Hammer Down Enforcer this board yet. Sagely, thank you, Rocket Star. Spinning forward for 4, putting down another Corvus Conspiracy and another Stump Drift Shaman, possibly getting that 2 healing, or are we just going to pass draw here? The Stump Drift Shaman does come down, healing for 2. Sage Leaf, now with 1 card in hand, needs to start accumulating resources. He does have a very strong lead as long as Cecilia doesn't have Hammered on Enforcer. Unfortunately, Sage Leaf is going to come down and ruin a lot of that plan. The Citadel Musician and the Corvus Conspiracy both gone, removing a lot of heavy damage coming Cecilia's way as she puts herself to 14. Then healing back up with Tyrax Fixer. Very back and forth on that healing. Sage Leaf now with limited to no resources in hand, out of damage, decides to pass draw, picks up a combo and a Citadel Musician. Once again, hand size not that strong, needs to find more resources. Both players are going to be passing and drawing, really trying to just accumulate what they want to do. Corvus Conspiracy gets rotated out, H-Man heals for 4 up to 33, pass draws very quickly again, knowing that his board and his hand are not where he wants them to be. Picks up an Insect Swarm, could be nice for next turn. Cecilia decides to go with the Tyrax Mercenary, just try and apply some pressure now. The Stump Drift is gone. 4 or 5 damage, healing again. She has the fun resources for her deck to go off. She is missing the item. It is a search for that Scepter. We're going to see Insect Swarm come down for H-Man the Man and a pass draw as well. We get a Spirit Mob. There is a buff on board. As long as Cecilia doesn't play anything, that could be a 6 damage point swing, which is very great for H-Man to start closing this game out. Blastfield Battery coming in from Cecilia. Tossing back possibly 2. Just 1. The Giga Blender is going to go back. She's going to draw 3 cards off of this. There is the Scepter. Now her deck is starting to be in order again. Insect Swarm is going to run and tick for 1. Spirit Mob is now activated for 6 damage, but we're going to slam down that Citadel. Then put in the Spirit Mob for 7 damage. Putting Cecilia at 10. That Insect Swarm is going to tick for 2 every turn now. Very strong. Colossi Cannon might be played here. However, she is sitting at 10. Going to be at 8, inevitably. She lays the Colossi Cannon. Might realize that nature doesn't have a whole lot of spike turns. We are seeing Spirit Mobs, however. Going to be using this turn to Tyrax Fixer. Rotate or not rotate the Colossi Cannon? We are going to see a rotation on the cannon, putting her down to 15. Still at a decent life total against nature. 3 cards in hand. Not a whole lot Sage Leaf can do right now. Insect Swarm will tick for 2, putting Cecilia at 13. Moss Ridge Defender coming down, preventing any possible damage coming through. Picking up a Mantix Tunneler off the card draw. Cecilia putting herself down to 11. She does have healing in hand. Let's see what happens. The play that she's probably looking for, I was going to say Mimicking Magmite and Tyrax Fixer, but she is going to put down that Anti-Magic Pulse, get an additional action. All the buffs are now dormant, making sure that her damage gets through. Mimicking Magmite is going to stick around. Reckless Spirit coming through again, however. Making the decision. We might see the cannon go away, as it does represent a lot of damage. However, with Sage Leaf being at 28, the cannon is not that high of a threat. However, the cannon is going to go away, leaving Cecilia with a board of additional actions, and that's about it. Drawing an Insect Swarm. Mimicking Magmite, unfortunately does not copy combos. Tyrax Fixer, healing them for 7, not spinning anything forward. Pass, draw, really need to accumulate resources. Cecilia is running low on a lot of offense here, while H-Man the Man, sitting forward, lays another Insect Swarm, picks up a Spirit Mob. His buffs are now going to be online next turn. That is 4 damage on board represented. Cecilia, pass drawing, trying to find something to do here. 4 damage from H-Man the Man with a Spirit Mob in hand now being picked up for 8 damage. Going to be putting Cecilia at 3. At 4, sorry. Not 8, 7 damage. And a Mantix Thunderler being put down. H-Man the Man just doing anything he can to close this game out. 4 damage is already being represented on board. Cecilia needs to Giga Blender here if she wants to live past next turn. But is discarding to heal for 10 going to be enough over this constant damage board state without a Hammered Out Enforcer in hand? She decides to swing in for damage. Gets 3 past that Moss Ridge Defender. We are going to see the Giga Blender be played. Discarding 2 cards. Healing for 7. Or 8, sorry. Math. Math is math. Putting her back up to 12. Down to 8 with the Insect Swarms. No healing in hand. A lot of damage being represented on board. H-Man the Man just decides to pass draw, reaccumulate his resources. Nothing much to do. Cecilia also pass drawing. And this game is going to be closed out with the Insect Swarms and the Mantix Tunneler coming in for the lethal. Great game by Sageleaf. Very high aggression, consistent on the board state. Kept a lot of damage up. Hammered Out Enforcer not drawn in time, unfortunately. Great games played by all. Great to see a lot of people having fun. It's awesome to see everyone doing this. It really is. Actually, I can do... Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now I have my normal setup back. Well, thank you, Jacob. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. These games have been amazing to watch and to comment on. Just to try and to figure out what people's play styles are, what their decks are coming into with, how they try and find themselves out of holes that they've been dug into via the other player. It's amazing to see what this tournament, what this league has brought out for deck construction, deck play, and competitive play online, as right now in the States, there is not a whole lot of competitive scene. So thank you to Mud Turtle for putting this together. We'll be seeing War Games, hopefully, later in the week. As people post their games, people keep playing. Week 4 is ahead of us. I like Sageleaf right now. Sageleaf is a good hero. There are a surprisingly plethora of good heroes and good playstyles that we are finding being come out of this deck that I am thoroughly enjoying watching people play and build just to see what they can come up with on really fun synergistic decks. This week you might do your week 4 before week 3. If it happens, it happens. I mean, you gotta find times to schedule it out with players. That's the only difficulty. So great games, everyone. Amazing games. I'm going to take a quick break for YouTube editing purposes. Then when we come back, I believe there are still some more Deck Doctor submissions that were given to me that we can go ahead and try. Why not? Why not, right? So one sec, guys. Don't go anywhere.